The honor of Bharat Ratna, political weapon or long overdue? Well, there's more news break coming in on that. Bharat Ratna, or the politics around it, peaks. The latest coming in, Raj Thackeray as well as the Uddhav Thackeray camp have both asked for Bharat Ratna for Balasaheb Thackeray. Understandable with what we are witnessing of late, but I just want to quickly cut across to Sahil Joshi as well as Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor and Mumbai Bureau Chief, who are joining us on this. Rajdeep, interesting in this fashion because is Balasaheb Thackeray now next to be conferred the Bharat Ratna? If we go back, Nitish Kumar asks for Bharat Ratna 5 days later. Bharat Ratna is announced 1 week later. Nitish is with the BJP. Similarly, the same thing happened with the RLD. You had the RLD officially ask for Bharat Ratna for Chaudhry Charan Singh, announced, and in the same press conference, a clear indication RLD is joining the BJP fold. Is Uddhav Thackeray next is the question, Rajdeep.
Look, Preeti, nobody knows what tomorrow brings in politics, especially at the moment. The political messaging in these Bharat Ratnas has been very clear, especially the one to Chaudhry Charan Singh. I think is very clear with an eye to attract the farmer vote, the Jat vote, especially in Western UP and areas adjoining. Will Balasaheb Thackeray also get one because Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray are demanding? Look, tomorrow the socialists will say, why not one for Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia? I know that the socialists have no political significance and therefore perhaps they will not get one. Will Balasaheb Thackeray, who is a Hindutva icon of sorts, was the original saffron partner of the BJP, would he get one? He is a contentious, polarizing figure. But then you could argue so have some of the others who got Bharat Ratna this time. So whether he gets it and whether you are now reducing the Bharat Ratna to some kind of a quid pro quo, I give you the Bharat Ratna or I give your mentor the Bharat Ratna and you in return join my political party. And I think that would be reducing the stature of the Bharat Ratna. But given the way Bharat Ratnas are being distributed in the last month, who knows? It could be Balasaheb Thackeray today, it could be N.T. Ramarao tomorrow, it could be Dr. Karunanidhi a third day, the DMK, TDP, Shiv Sena, all being attracted by that. Prakash Singh Badal is there in Punjab. There are a number of Indian leaders who could get it. So it would be I think it would be a pity if the Bharat Ratna is reduced to political wheeling and dealing. A number of these individuals are extremely distinguished and some of them certainly, you could argue, deserve a Bharat Ratna. But whether it should be done on the eve of an election in this manner, I think the timing is what raises serious questions over the complete politicization of this highest civilian award.
You know, Rajiv, I'm going to come right back. I just want to bring in Sahil because, if you look at it, there are arguments on both sides because one side says these were icons who were long ignored by the Congress who decided to give itself or the Gandhi Parivar while most of the leaders were still alive, the Bharat Ratna. And then there is this other argument that it's interesting because in a year only 3 Bharat Ratnas are given and government's given 5 and practically covering political ground in those 5, maybe more are up on the anvil. So we're going to come back to that question. But Sahil Joshi, bringing you in, Mumbai Bureau Chief, what are your sources telling you? If there is a rallying cry now for Bharat Ratna for Balasaheb Thackeray, there's also conspiracy theories which are mounting that possibly Uddhav Thackeray, who's been making certain overtures in the last 1 week, is on his way out from the India alliance.
At this point of time, the political reality doesn't look like that, Uddhav Thackeray will take such kind of a decision soon. And if he takes that, there are a lot of things which the BJP will need to adjust in Maharashtra, specifically with respect to the 40 MLAs who have gone with Eknath Shinde. What will they do with the name Shiv Sena, which has been which election commission has now given to Eknath Shinde. So there will be a lot of political jugglery which will need to be done in Maharashtra. And I really don't know at this point of time that how the people in Maharashtra will take this particular U-turn. Not only by Uddhav Thackeray but also by the BJP, what will happen to Eknath Shinde and of course Ajit Pawar for that matter. But I'm more surprised about the way this demand has been put forward because like Rajdeep mentioned, Ram Manohar Lohia, the original demand by the Shiv Sena as well as Raj Thackeray had been to confer Bharat Ratna to Veer Savarkar. Whereas Vinayak Damodar Savarkar has been completely ignored. I mean, he has not been yet confronted with Bharat Ratna, even when this government is completing 10 years. And Savarkar has always been a political issue. In fact, but what it looks like, what Rajdeep was mentioning, the demand for a Bharat Ratna to Balasaheb Thackeray has been made because what we are seeing in last few days, that Karpuri Thakur, because he's identified with Bihar, whereas Nitish Kumar's actual political guru should have been Ram Manohar Lohia, but he chose that Karpuri Thakur should be given Bharat Ratna, and that's why his name was suggested. Similarly, Jayant Chaudhary demanded Bharat Ratna for former Prime Minister Chaudhary Charan Singh, and then he has been confronted with Bharat Ratna, and then immediately he said that, there is a possibility that he may align with the BJP. Looking at that scenario, because Raj Thackeray is already in talks with the BJP as well as Eknath Shinde, whether Uddhav Thackeray will take this plunge, it's something what we will need to think about. Will it be a political gimmick? Because what I'm hearing is that now there are no more names. The government cannot announce more names at this point of time.
The government's already announced more names, Sahil. Usually it's restricted to 3 a year, correct. And that's what's the norm been. It's already gone over to 5. So I don't think that it matters anymore. But Rajdeep, I want to get you back into this conversation.
It absolutely
clearly doesn't matter. So maybe they're going to be more on the anvil, because I think it's still a while before the model code of conduct is set in.
I will definitely not be surprised. I will definitely not be surprised if Balasaheb Thackeray is confronted with Bharat Ratna, because it's been now demand. And I will really have to see whether Eknath Shinde also makes the same kind of a demand, because the 3 partners who are from the original Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, UBT, Raj Thackeray has already made it. Eknath Shinde camp has not yet made any such kind of a demand. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I'm sure it's going to come in, but also Mayawati spoke of Kashiram to be conferred the Bharat Ratna. Rajdeep, I want to bring you back into the conversation. The fact is, Rajdeep, whichever way one might look at it, it is astute political jugglery and management if you look at it at one perspective. But there is this other, facet to it. Because if you go on how the Congress or the UPA use the Bharat Ratna, then there is an argument that, this is a better way of doing it, because the Congress practically gave it to itself, or the Gandhis gave it to itself. And there is a clear line where, the government's trying to alienate the Gandhis by appropriating the achievers from the UPA.
Look, that's a whataboutery argument. What about the fact that the Congress during its time didn't give enough opposition icons the Bharat Ratna? Why did Indira Gandhi have to give it to herself? Why did Jawaharlal Nehru accept the Bharat Ratna while he was Prime Minister? We can go back in time and have these arguments endlessly, Preeti. The truth of the matter is, it's either to be seen as a political masterstroke, or it's to be seen as the complete political cynicism, wherein you almost seem to suggest, okay, Nitish Kumar, you want to come over and join us? Then we'll give Karpuri Thakur a Bharat Ratna. Jayant Chaudhary, you want to come and join us? Okay, we'll give Charan Singh a Bharat Ratna. Please do not forget, just a couple of years ago, Ajit Singh's belongings were virtually thrown out of his house because he was accused by this very government of overstaying. And at that moment, nobody thought of that he was Chaudhary Charan Singh's son. Suddenly, you're remembering Chaudhary Charan Singh's legacy. And do not forget that Chaudhary Charan Singh's legacy was based on bringing Jats and Muslims together. Today, Jats and Muslims, like it or not, post-Muzaffarnagar have been divided. So these are all questions that governments must answer. Are you doing it simply for convenience? And do you really believe that the voters will buy into this? I think they might.
Rajdeep, isn't there a flip side to it? Isn't there a flip side to it? The RLD, Jayant Chaudhary, Jat vote, a byproduct of all of this. But if you look at it from the perspective, Chaudhary Charan Singh, giving him the Bharat Ratna is also somewhere down the line political messaging to the farmers who are looking at a chakka jam on the 13th of February now. Because Chaudhary Charan Singh has been a tall Jat leader, not just a Jat leader, but a farmer leader.
You can't start giving Bharat Ratnas because the chakka jam is going to take place a couple of days later.
No, to appease the farmers of the country, right?
I think the reasoning is that over the last few years, a section of the Jats have been alienated. We want to woo them, and the Jats are seen to be more emotional about Chaudhary Charan Singh, perhaps than some of the other leaders. I don't think, for example, the Telugu populace is emotional about P.V. Narasimha Rao, after whom, who perhaps in some ways you could argue deserved the Bharat Ratna much earlier than the Congress. I think that's where the political messaging to the Gandhis is. You ignored your own Prime Minister. Okay, we are going to give him a Bharat Ratna. So I think I can see the political messaging there. I can see the vote bank messaging in a Chaudhary Charan Singh. I could see some of it in a Karpuri Thakur. And L.K. Advani is simply, you're cost correcting a wrong, because for the longest time there was a feeling that Narendra Modi has done injustice to someone who was seen as his political guru. Look, Modi ji is someone who's a very astute politician. He's doing this because as an astute politician, he sees benefit in each of these instances. Will he see benefit in a Bal Thackeray being given Bharat Ratna if Uddhav Thackeray is to be brought on board? Maybe so. But what does it do to the Bharat Ratna? You know, you're giving Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, great. Why didn't you give one, I could argue, to Dr. Varghese Kurian, who's from Gujarat, the milk revolution? Why? Because he took on your government there at times and wanted the independence of the cooperative movement. It's all become selective. So we can go back in the past and say, why didn't the Congress do this and why didn't the Congress do that? I asked the question to Congress.
But M.S. Swaminathan is also a message to